Luangdimai, good afternoon. Kalum. I'm very excited I'll be speaking to you today, particularly because I have come to see Asalu Misrunglu for the first time in my life. As our first resource person yesterday spoke, in 50 years, he saw Asalu.
Okay. Well, mai ka cái cái ông sang alu asui sang le alu wang sang le zana rai lang betul ja apo keluar do zana asalu nai misrung lu aring tinggal mah tau ngomak bango angka sang lu zana sui sang le jarang le.
I'm excited because Asa Misrung story has been told to us as bedtime stories by our elders, our parents, particularly my grandmother, as many of you do before putting your children to bed.
Aga kasing meeting na anu itu ja asal nai misrung rasam ja micu teu kan ja rasam chang ja mi puin pe na mi pom pa nem sadia kwam ja mai ka mi na ngop chang sing asal nai misrung lu ngop chang lup jena lu ngang sang sang le asui sang le.
Do not think that Asa Misrung story is only told in Laisong or in Assam. It is told all over Longdiram, in Manipur, in Nagaland, and even in Delhi, Mumbai, Shillong, and many other places.
Asal nai misrung rasam ja lai song run na tei kule cheni ngai slo asal nai misrung rasama Manipur gdo Nagaland gdo zaina Assam gdo Delhi gdo Mumbai ke sam da hai nan tei sa da jala mulai.
But I'm also very sad because I cannot speak to you in Zelat, Longdirat.
Amai ka ge ya lungwang nei ba alung nei ba ja I jim ko na nang lidong pau si lau jena lung nei de.
Very, very sad.
Nasi sia sang le.
Anyway, since I'm asked to speak on Luangdimai, one people, one vision, one voice, I would like to begin on the topic by only dwelling mostly on the topic of one people.
Okay. Namai ka gatsu I guess our subject matters rang ai jena one people, one vision, one voice. Sebisa zena cat, mikpie cat, kwa cat. Kat sebisa sawang rang rang ai kya. Zena cat le, seblang ina sawang le.
Why I want to emphasize on one people is because once we know who we are, where we came from, and where we are going, I think we will know our vision and we will have our voice.
Ina zina katle chepkena mai ka focus se bari maza anu zina men ko na lungong me dai me lung ta da me dai gum jan to sura me cheplam ga sang ke le.
But until and unless know who we are, where we came from, and where we are headed, we will not have one vision or no voice. Our voices will be different. Our vision will be different. No matter what, no matter how many times we gather here, no matter how many times we will be gathering, unless we know where we came from, who we are, where we are headed, our vision, our voice will be different all the time.
Anu ija zina kale chebram kan si ma sana anu mi pe do ka te sila ko ka do ko sila ko zena tau di lang maza anu zina kale chebe anu pie ra le bo ka le pui ka na le chebe anu chi gen fa sai se le ma le jana mas anu lo da ke ndu yong le sudo lo da ke ma I bete yong le sudo ko ka ko pa sila le chebe jarang le.
So who are we?
Anu cholo.
Who are we?
Anu cholo.
The resource persons in the mornings have said very clearly, Luangdimai people are people who have descended from Makui Longdi.
Nagating suaga, a resource person na rangdam, Luangdimai people solo, janang Kui Longdi na, Kui Longdi gina luilong kembo tle.
But is that enough?
Sina taudi de may.
That is not enough, my friends.
Sina bui merele kamugo.
Luangdimai people have, at the moment, we are a big community.
Luangdimai jana mai kagya hazat dibe katre.
As resource persons in the earlier sessions have pointed out, we have capability. We live in Assam, Manipur, and Nagaland, 12,000 square kilometer, big land.
Luangdimai people Zealand rong bazana mai khaga haram kedi indra kalu zalung la moi kilometer sangkreu kuna square ndeng goling ba ganu lung zala moi Assam Manipur Nagaland ganu lung pui zala
Immense resources
anui ndaga maheu domi songala le
and beautiful music, dance, culture.
anui daga anu culture anu ga phoni anu ga lim kacham cham ma sim domi songala le
We can go on and on.
anui pa priyak sai kamlak ja mi songala moi le
Yes, we are big,
Evle anu
We are
di sang le anu ren chi le
but how are we organized? Are we united?
kana na mai ga anui sikale kete ja ni lame ndai bri anu ren chi bela lo
Unfortunately, we are divided.
kana anui pausia sangja anui
Divided into
pangpru bam le
Assam, Manipur, and Nagaland.
Assam Manipur Nagaland ga anui cheja pangpru la da
Divided as Zeme, Liangmei, Puimei, Rongmei, and many other groups.
anui da ga ZMF group Liangmai group Puimai group Acerong mai group la da na chipo lung tu pangwai mi song ala re anui da ga mai ka ga
So even though we are so blessed with so much of resources,
anui da ga ai zeu ga ja ma he ja tingong na hingnam ga be bam le sudo
human resources as well as natural resources,
Zanada ga ma ta te chiba ma ka chimi song apam le sudo zana tingong na hingnam ga ba ma he mineral sar ga apam le sudo
unless we are united,
anui rualu lai ma zana
we are not able to appropriate all these resources for our own interests, for our youth, for our benefits.
anui ram dei hangge irang ga anui luang ti sirak le anui sikale ka te le ma za engineer te pe le ja doctor te pe le ja pelam pe hangro le lung ta ti klai pe hangro lung ta ti tingong na hingnam ba be ka chau tu isang ke bam le sudo anui sikale ka te ma zina si bram za nang hang ga pe zan ma ga wong chang sirak le je brang le
In short, Zelerong people or Luangdimai people are second to none.
Kadui begina anui Luangdimai Zealand rong baza meram so ga anui meram chang la potem le meram chang zala mu le
Second to none, but how powerful we are. We have already seen, we have freedom fighters, we have national level officers, we have doctors and engineers and professionals working in different fields. But what about the majority?
Amai ka ga anui Luangdimai Zealand rong baza engineer la moi freedom fighter rani gala moi rani puila moi gazadonang la moi jana chau so ma IS officer IPS officer minister sang la moi le su do baudi me ko ga anui zat ma baudi me ko ga la lo so ni pi ekle
The race of the majority of Luangdimai people are divided and
ke
weakened
me Luangdimai chembo ja anui pangpru jala moi le suna ga
and marginalized.
anui ja meram chang la ma me dong ga me bo chang jala moi le suna
Okay, how did this happen then?
dai ko mai ja wong chang di lo
How did we put ourselves, how did this happen? How did this happen to our people, the great people of Luangdimai?
Ani popoi mang kui long di ga tui je ba mak lagi je he tu ka tung ba ma chana ma na mai ka dai kom ja po siam du chang di lo
At least there are two reasons.
ai ga pelam kana la mi le
One,
ka ja
Luangdimai people are known for staying away from civilization, staying away from the hills, staying away from cities, and prefer to live in the hills.
amai pelam kat anu klak sia ban to sulak ba ka ja anui long di mai Zealand rong ma ja kadai pere di chu ba bang na lunga lak ja ka nga lung ba ma pak tai ma bo ka chang di le
And also, we love to fight among ourselves
zai na
on
anu ja
petty issues.
wa ma pa tau di beram ngana si ga gi gun mak ja mbai ro da ma mai kem bai ro chi le nu ja
And this is how we put ourselves in a very, very sad situation today as minorities in Assam, Manipur, and Nagaland.
si po je gana na mai ka ga anu ja pa baut sai ma chang de le Assam Manipur Nagaland ge
So, at certain point of time, there emerged many, many organizations
daga
to address all these issues.
daga apo go isura ma ja anu software ang gan ka ka no organization ka cham cham ba pung chu lo de le
Zhelengrong Union is one of them, for example.
Rai lam ga te example Zhelengrong Union du katale Zhelengrong mo isu tele rang ga wang ba
And before that, we had Suk Thoibao or Suk Sumai,
suk toy be
Suk Thoibe.
Sibi ke chipau chang Zhelengrong Union pungai lu bam suam ba chang du suk toy ba Zhelengrong ma te te so pang le je ba suk toy ta don wi te we de
In course of time, these institutions we call civil society organizations.
aga ache taong loga civil society ramja pran ga ke di le
We have Zhelengrong Body, we have
Zhelengrong
Zhelengrong
Body
Union,
Pata,
you have
Zhelengrong-
ZMA Students Union, Gonmei Students Union, many organizations coming up today,
nangka panarang aja bam ba organization ka cham cham ani da kana ka pati da
thinking that they will be able to solve all these problems.
Penui na kanim ga penui ai pungsu na Zhelengrong ko isu ja problem solve te le ja penui ning lu ja penui pungsu lau le
But people say
kana jem nam na rang le
that Zhelengrong is a failed project.
Zhelengrong za su lak ti me bo de le je ja mram na sa ba ti le
Why do you think Zhelengrong is a failed project, as some people say?
ko ta te bi na mram ma Zhelengrong a fail te di bo de le Zhelengrong a su dai lak ti bo de je mram ma ko te a je sa ra chang di lo
Zhelengrong organizations, or Zhelengrong as a name, or Zhelengrong as an idea has failed
Zhelengrong pe zi je me le ma rong ma te ro Zhelengrong je ba ja pe zi ku za ba ma jana ku te je bam ja ko ta te bi na fail te di lo
I think it is because the organizations, the idea of Zhelengrong is mostly confined to the idea of Zhelengrong as a political organization.
ko ta te bi na Zhelengrong idea Zhelengrong ko concept je fail te ung di lo ja na anu ja political idea hanga ni lo di lo le
A good example is the ZPC movement.
example kat ani fail te be kada Zhelengrong people movement ZPC movement ani pum ja si ja example kat le
Yes, it has failed to deliver its political goal. ZPC movement or Zhelengrong organization has failed.
ga ZPC movement jen Zhelengrong ko movement ja kaning ba ani lu nei ba te ong chamak ja fail te di le
But
kana
the ZPC movement or the name Zhelengrong or the Zhelengrong organizations have given us or united us in so many ways, social, cultural, and many other areas.
Atau je penui fail te di bamle sudo Zhelengrong organization ka cham cham na na mai ka ga anu do te wang hro ga ba jana anu do te chu ai ba ka chang jala mu le
To fill the gap left behind by Zhelengrong, the idea of Zhelengrong or the Zhelengrong civil society organizations, the idea of Luangdimai came up.
ga Zhelengrong society na te pui chang mak ba te pui ga rang na Luangdimai citizen forum ja pa pa ko le
Luangdimai Citizens Forum is aware that it is not only political idea or political practice or political principle is not enough.
Luangdimai citizen forum na pi ga Zhelengrong ka che ja nang ka ga political idea ka che ja ani chat ka jam ja chi ro na wang chang lak le chi ba ni ngop le
Luangdimai Citizens Forum is convinced that you have to support the political will, you have to support the political dream, the political vision with culture. The culture of preserving our history, our culture, and the ability to define our future.
Luangdimai citizen forum na pi ga ani Zhelengrong concept ja ni ka ja anoi can you repeat again?
Luangdimai Citizens Forum is convinced
Okay. Luangdimai citizen forum na anu na lutong kai bija anu Zhelengrong ma anu tahang ra Luangdimai tahang ra jana anu ki ra ha anu popai ra sam ja chi mian ango zaina anu ko culture ja anu te mian ango sizna anu do te wang ngai le anu kaning ba
in addition to the political aspirations,
namai anu na political aspiration jabja Zhelengrong homeland jabja anu lu ne ja ke jabam ba anu na kan sabe kata sigum ba pe re ke do in
addition to our political aspirations, Luangdimai wants to improve, rethink the idea of identity, language, and culture.
Naga anu political solution anu Zhelengrong mahanga anu lu nei brun makja Zhelengrong ko culture jana Zhelengrong ko talung zai se rama jana anai ki ra haram ja anu te wang dui dai ne le
Today,
Namai
we
kagaya?
are we know, we think about our identity, we think about our language, we think about our culture in a very, very primordial ways or primordial imagination. For instance, okay, you go ahead, please.
Namai kagya anui na jelang rong na pie bigya anui go culture do anui go raha do anui go vision do anui kaning ramja na ka sing ma ka de pere lung ke rain ka haligum ga anu ning la mui re le.
I was talking to one gentleman here in the afternoon just a while ago.
Namai giga I gentleman na do snap pe ang kat ma chi man ka tu kunung ka im pawang di le.
I will not reveal his name,
Pesiai rang waku
but he told me, "You're not Zelerong."
wana rang le na jelang rong mang le chule.
And I asked why.
Ko ta te bin lo chu
And he said, "You don't have holes in your ears,
nan kyun ki ga pe pe ga le ga na jelang rong mang le che bi le chule so.
and you don't speak Luangdilat."
Nang za jelang rong malat no long dilat nang sa mang le.
I said, "You're right,
Ina rang le nang tau de le che.
but I'm still Luangdimai."
Ma le le je le long di mai de le.
Why?
Te bin se.
Because identity is a negotiation. It's a process.
Aga anoi telung zai jelang rong telung zai za te ta bam le chi ja. Sao ai di ko ma le.
Identity is a negotiation between what you want to be called and what others want to call you.
Naga anu go identity ja maram nang chung ko ku nei me nang chung ko ku nei me naga chi ja teleu ta jabam process le chi ja
Similarly, language.
sepoligum ja ko do la do
Language we think is God-given. It has been here since the time of Adam and Eve, or since the time of creation. Since the time when Tingwang created men and women.
okay ha ko la ja anu ni ngai ba me po pai ting na ra ting wang na ra ting rang phui ting na dam ngai di ko lo da ju che jan ni ngai le.
Language, my friends, is not created at the beginning of time. It is a process. It is an ongoing process to communicate and to assert identity. Identity and language are interlinked.
Aga hakwa la anu na mai ka kwa za bam za asal ja ka dei pere lumam ga ka nang mu chai si ja kwa ta ti ba ko le daga hakwa za na ching ma nang ka nu chi rang ga I'm addition okay hello ram am pok ba le ka ching ma pok ba sam na mai nu pok ba sam anu na ma pok ba sam ne aga ai za anu na constructive ja anu na te le ta ram le kwa la le za chi cham je ne I cham le ja choi do lo le.
So because I don't have ears, pierced ears, or because I don't speak Luangdilat or Zelat, you cannot deny that I'm not Luangdimai. I am still Luangdimai.
Akyun ki pe ma ze gena zaina adaga man nan sang ma zena na jelang rong pe ma le je do lo le.
And he also told me that you follow Christianity. So you're not dealing wrong.
Na Christianity di na jelang rong pe ta le je le.
But I said, I believe in all religions. They bring out the best of men or humanity in.
Okay. Ina rang le ra ting na se le ne yan num te kom le zem nang ga ilang ja hang ilang le je rang le.
So the point that I want to draw today is, as Luangdimai, we need a combination of our political aspirations as well as the preservation of a culture. Identity, language and culture are all the same.
Gana mai ka ga ina rang ne ja anoi nen sa ja bam ba ning ja bam ba rani puina chat ka ja ma jelang rong ma homeland jana chona na na ga anu lunghang ra ba anu go identity anu go culture anu to long zai ja anoi anai ki ra ha ja anoi te mi ja te nang le.
In fact political will or political aspirations and culture are best or works best when they go hand in hand. Like the bullock carts, the left and the right bullocks must be harnessed together so that they can drive the bullock cart. If they are not yoked together, harnessed together, the bullock cart doesn't move. So, political will, political culture, political ideas need to go side by side with culture.
Naga anoi jelang rom ne chatka jam ba government naga autonomy ke ba zaina homeland ke ma maram do anui na kaning ba anui lu nei ba government naga je kebram do anu go culture banai tan sama kanang le anai ki telung zai ne tan sama kanang le ai ka tom tem riang ga gari pichi go kan na a chuan sam da go be ta gum ja anu go culture banai anu ne lu nei ba to chura di chura ga hagwang da na ki pe na ma hagwang te ra ba lu nei be zai chi ja na ki culture an sama jana ta do la le.
In fact, for the last 50, 60 years, Luangdimai people or Zelengrong people have been only looking to political deliberation, political goal without looking at our culture.
Ga tatib lunga anu Zelengrong maja political gani homeland do kelo da mal kelo da kana lo sudo anu ngai ni ba anai ki go culture anai ki tilong zai anai ki raha anai popai me tilong takja anu ninga ngai ni lo le.
Luangdimai Citizens Forum is an effort to bridge the gap between the political aspirations and the culture, the heritage, the history that we have inherited from our forefathers. Nguiba, Zadwanang, Haperani, all these people, we want to inherit them and blend them together.
Naga na mai Luangdimai Citizen Forum na pumza anu popai ma anu go freedom fighter na zat kai jaba ma political vision ba madu si za ta hang rang do anu go culture anu go identity do ka na ten samhang za ting ting ga fail li za te pui ga rang ga ting ke wong sam za wong sang ga rang ga LCF Luangdimai Citizen Forum ma pung pu su ko le je rang le.
In fact, if you look at the history of the world, culture is something that drives civilization. Culture is something that drives people to become prosperous and develop and peaceful.
Kadai pere ai ke ga di wong di ban mai France ga Germany ga China USA ga lungwang di ga ngkau na pere di su lo to su lo ga cultural peki tilung zai peki ra ha peki popai ra sam nti lo za si ga na te wang lo ga gwang kadai chang za lung tua chu za lung heu za kadai pere ga gwang te za chang le je ba rang le.
Today, Luangdimai Citizens Forum, having looked at how countries have progressed in the last so many hundreds of years, we think that Luangdimai Citizens Forum can also help our people to progress and move towards peace and prosperity in our Luangdiram.
Namai tatib getting kum hakat may so get tatib get Europe get patib rama hangwang ka day chang di rama za pi gai lu za namai Luangdimai Citizen Forum do anu Zelengrong ma hangga mpui ki kchio le ba ka chang za chonai na na ka lung to chura di chura hangga idea za lu pa kai pod le.
Okay, last night you watched that movie Nakam Ringsonai.
Jinai moi ya cinema ji makam ringsonai jibenang ningau da.
How many of you watched?
Nangau da kine piese bak to na. Okay, very less people.
What do you think is the story of Nakam and Ringsonai? Is it a love story or is it romance? What do you draw out of this movie, having watched this movie? Of course, it will differ from person to person. Some will say it's romance. Some will say it is history. Some will say it is about culture. It will differ. But my taking is Nakam Ringsonai's story is about how you need to be strong and united.
Okay. Jinai ka anu cinema pie ga hang sam na pie na love story ang pie do doi hang sam na pie ranga hrei te be rasam do doi hang sam na ning ranga na ka sing ma rasam ne hang lo do doi kana na ma ina luai ma kadai pere lung ra na sui ke le ka te nang go hrei chi ra nang go a che ma za lung chi la le che be ya luai le.
Nakam's beautiful wife,
Nakam pa nau lui be ja
because he was a poor man, he had fight with his brothers. Of course, the movie depicted him as a strong man, but he could not be of any match for the Maharaja of Kasar.
Naga makam go cinema pie lo ga pa kalak sia ko da jana pi si pe na pi si kina ka ka pone de si sia ba bam da naga maram pe huang Maharaj na wam lo ga pa ma do ting kang silak ti le.
For me, Nakam Ringsonai is a lesson to Luangdimai, all the Luangdimai, that if you are not strong, if you are not united, if you are not able to protect your land and your resources and even your beautiful wives, the strong king, the strong people will come and take away whatever you have.
naga namai injina mui movie cinema pi na tilia ba ina lunga chakai ba aiza makam go story jas pora samja namai makoi Luangdimai sana ma Luangdimai ma jeleng rong manga aiza katle anui ran chi mangjai anui si kele kete mangjai rana anui rei chi mangjai anui ram rei chi mangjai anui nau na dum ram na zupa kudle.
How many of us want to be nakam?
So go man dai ke makam gom da je maram na ki pu ju ta tira lu nei lo.
Nobody, I think. Is there anybody who wants to be nakam in nakam's position?
Mi do makam position ga makam gom ja lung nei makule.
So Luangdimai feels that it is time for us to be united at all times with our political aspirations as well as our cultural heritage.
Alam makoi LCF Luangdimai season forum ba ni ngai ga. Can you repeat again?
It is time for us to be united.
Anang ka ga nui Luangdimai sebe jeleng rong ja nui suket le ka te rang ga pi hi dele sebe rang ale.
Okay, let me also take the example of Stack Hun. You are, I don't know what is the culture here in Laisong area, but the Stack Hunt game is a very popular idea in social science. So I'll just quickly narrate the story of Stack Hunt.
Okay. Stack Hunt ka chebera samja pa che na damane game kan ta ba pa na te le ne le chuko.
So four guys.
Okay. Rehe go ba. Okay.
Four guys. Yeah. Stack Hunt.
Rehe go ba sam.
Stack Hang.
Stack Hang tu da. Rong la sa to gai te.
So Stack Hunt game is a game where four guys go out to hunt.
Re go ranga hang dai zo pachle.
Four guys in four different corners waiting for the stag to come, because hunting a stag will give them a long time to feed themselves. They'll be well fed and they'll be strong.
Hang madai ja re per ap sikyo cho ja bamne khialo zaina langdai ke ne me pe keu ting me te rang da ga.
But there are instances when these hunters go out to hunt, one of them gets distracted and is attracted by a small rabbit.
Naga hangmadai ja chua jabam loga pakaning ba ka dati dile ai za phone za ha phone pa ka chi ga be mik pi di jiga.
The hunter who goes for the small rabbit hunts and gets, but he only eats for himself. He cannot share with his friends. He cannot share with the other hunters.
Naga chi ja za ha pui do hialo da ka chia pa hang ru na ga da pa kang bong an ji ra ga le.
Zenlerong people or Luangdimai people have also come across this situation, like the four hunters. We go to hunt stag, but many a times we ended up hunting stags. Rabbits. Aga
zeleng rom do na mai kaga rego ra hang dai tam bagum ja anui do tatle ma di be chalu tatle kana haza phoi na ngolu do ga. Because
you are here today in Luangdimai Madimbau, I believe you also have come to hunt the stag together with LCF. I don't know whether when you go back home if you prefer to hunt rabbit. Luangdimai Citizen Forum is a call. It's a clarion call to all Luangdimai people to come together and hunt the stag instead of rabbits.
Luangdimai Citizen Forum nang do rego ra hai na ko idle ajana haza ha pui pepe su chia pes lo re di ja ni pekle jibane ko idle noi.
Let us build our society by hunting stags, not rabbits.
Naga anai go su jelang rong me society ja rego ta me sing ja re pui pi ba re pui hialo ba society chang na anu te kle.
I would like to close this by saying reflecting the saying by TRC, the Tingkau Ragwang Sabriak, saying by Tingkau Ragwang Sabriak. I don't know whether this is also a popular term in Haraka. the TRC says loss of culture is loss of identity.
Okay. Nangka I samsaba loyang digo loyang weraga tingkau rawang caprek kacebja infan bepya kuda ali anu raka sudah he nga tingkau rawang caprek kirana ku jabamba loss of culture
is loss of identity.
Is loss of identity. Jebja new culture gadle na mitulung sedu gadle jeba migo mimpau pampau pe gadle je lauda he
And they take great efforts to promote their identity.
Laga tingkau rawang caprek na do penigo identity jan dai go meso protection tu rangka penilai kai je teule.
It's a very, very noble effort.
Aija puni tebja ja ik sangkule.
But here I want to also add to the maxim of TRC, loss of culture is loss of identity, by saying loss of religion is also loss of land. It is an addition from my side.
Ana aija tingkau rawang caprek ku ram ga loss of a culture is loss of identity je ke ine kat kaim pamene rele loss of religion meeting na se gadle jana kadai du gadle je ba.
You might be surprised why I'm saying this.
Kota te ne yai salo je ben nang ni ning dau lak la bam no puile.
Quickly, let me run through the history of Pubuan, Kobru, and Zuku.
Ana kaga
Zuku Valley.
history ranga Kobru Zuku Valley jana history bam rama bam na bam chum go example isa liao le nang do.
These are all Luangdimai sacred places.
Naga chipo ramja Luangdimai jeleng rom ko ma kanchi babam ra te bam rama kadi babam ram dele.
But we don't hold these places sacred anymore.
Kana anu ja mira se so diga chipo bam ram du ja mahang se dada anu sawai ni dele jiram ja.
Of course, not all, but majority of us do not hold these places as sacred, historical, or as our cultural heritage sites anymore.
Ke na so malo ama han sa ma so malo le kana ke na so ndi je kana chipo bam tau di bija anu yang ga tau ga bang sa ka di ja bam dip do bam di le.
So let me end by saying, if we take care of our history, if we take care of our identity, our language, our culture as one people, I believe that we will have one vision automatically and one voice, irrespective of where we stay, irrespective of what boundaries divide us, irrespective of what language we speak today.
Naga inai loi ne nai le anu ja anu go culture te mi te bam anu go identity te mi te bam anu ra se te mi te bam di jana jana anai ki raha anai ki tabang ra ma chi mi da chi bam di jana ai bram jana anu do ma sa dai ma lo sudo puina kat le pe na kat le jana ko kat anu min la cham pre bam sudo sui kat pe janu sam sa do di le je jarang le.
Luangdimai Citizens Forum is taking a small step towards making this possible.
Aga Luangdimai Citizen Forum ja ai po lam ka kasi na step ka duai bele.
That is by making an effort to make or develop Luangdilat. There is called a committee called Luangdilat Commission.
Naga po lam ka tawam loga anoi je meliaman roman katev gele je puina ka tu nga khodo ko katev gele je banga Luangdilat Commission je bisa ni serap tu just highlight one okay I Luangdilat Commission je kiza ina rangai bele noi nama ikaga bodo me state ga le puni kana bodo me goza peria kebje na 8 sidol ka puni ko te yu ka dibe UPSC exam ka punuya free gana halal le ko ja IS exam kai lo le BTC chief na rang la awongo azam do IS exam kai ke lo MIL ka tension nus lo jam yo rang di le chule kana na ma jilang no ma anui nang dai sei lu si chen sing bam so nang karu na dina me do HC dul gurani qualified te dollar le kana ni ro di na anui HC dul ke guranga anui ko ja te ku do dui jana anui meram sang sang le chibrang le noi.
Some people used to make fun of LCF by saying, how can you develop language? How can you build a language? How can you do anything on language?
Ang sa mana ani do cheta pa noi te le dai kam ja ko ni develop te chi da lo mi ko mi la la bam di chai na yo chep to rang le.
As said earlier, language is always a construct, a social construct. It is always a process.
Aga le si chim ne ti ba ka ha ko lat ka ndam ta ta te le ta ko le.
A very good example is the case of Esperanto,
example
international language considered to be international language.
what is that repeat again
Esperanto.
ex garanto Esperanto the international kwa sangja katla muile
Today, Esperanto is, of course, it is an exclusive language, but it is spoken all over the world by linguists or linguistic students.
naga chipo kwa ja ale ani public na sama la kana ha kwa ka ka tem ram na chipo kwa ja Esperanto ko ja te lu ja tingming budai lu te ja la muile
It has been developed by some people from West. Now I forget the name, but it has been there since the last 100 years or so.
ting nai mi kem bia phina chi de te lewang dule ting kom ha ka dia suna de te ja la muile
So if Esperanto can be possible,
Esperanto ja kwa ja se ja te le pan lu ja te do di ja na
Luangdimai is possible.
anui long dilat le ja anui jeleng rom la le ni te le
I'm
di le
hopeful that Luangdimai Commission will bring out the Luangdimai so that we all can use and speak to one another.
aga ye guile long dilat commissioner jeleng rom la hanga long di la hanga te le pa kule jan sona na na ka ka to ni chinan pau do banga pa kule be ye guile
And then you'll not tell me you're not Luangdimai because I don't speak Zelat.
aga po mai jana nang noi izim ko ko maka nang long di mai male jang nang chu che ma kule
So this is the idea of Luangdimai Citizens Forum, the idea of Luangdimai Madimbao.
na aiza ko ta de long di mai pa do na aiza pe ji pum ji le je ben
So if we take care of our culture, if we take care of our identity, if we take care of our language, the political part will also automatically follow.
zaga anui kwa anui lat ana kira tabang ana kira hachi mi zabam ana ki se de te mi de te bam di zena ana ina kaning ba political aspiration me pong pa na lu nei zabam do wang sang na do sei bi du le je ben wele
And then I think Luangdimai as one people will have one vision and one voice.
gats poligom za long di mai ja ina ni ngai ga anui ha zina haza kale zina anui mi pedo kat anui chat do kat go zina anui ko kat na ni ko do wile je berang ale
And for that, we need your support.
si pong ga nang nui na ngara ni lu nei le
We need your support in not only to come together like this,
agam se wang ro ra bru na mak za
but all the time interacting with us in different ways.
pe yin sang na kya ni kya ka tum po lak zabam ra ka cham cham gana
LCF has no barrier. We don't differentiate on the basis of religion, language, or culture.
aga LCF jana mai ka ga no da ga ma to ka cham ka le meeting na se hara ka ritan ki ma catholic baptist ki ma presbytery ki ma zaina ai gana ka ka tik do ki ma le hai mena je me council rong mai council leg mai council everyone anu LCF ga wang kam lo anu kya le je ban rang le
LCF is just a small organization hoping that we will be able to bring our people together.
LCF je organization point at katle anu je leng rom do te hrong do dui gumei je ja pung su ko le
To make our people great again.
anu izat ma di su da ran to su da hangye
Luangdimai Wiye, thank you.
long di mai le thank you